Hey everyone, this is Zero Prime and welcome back to my channel with a new series that I'm starting called the China Bootleg Game Series. Now, what's this channel about? What's this series about? Well, the series is about how during the time that I stayed here in Beijing, China, I visited marketplaces and such, and I found that a lot of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, and also other games like from the Sega Genesis and such. And of course, the question is, as everyone knows, that most games you find in China, chances are they are bootleg. And for those of you that don't know what a bootleg is, it means like it is a copy or a rip-off of the original product. And so the series is going to focus on, because I have a whole bunch of these that I collected over the time, and recently I got myself a Retro Freak device, which definitely helps out with recording of old retro games, and also to see which of these things work and which of these things don't work, and also to showcase them. And before showing them, I want to really show some of the random things that I found, you know, not all of them, because good lord, there's a whole lot of them, but just to showcase some of them. Now, these are the ones that work very well, like this one, for example. Now, from my understanding, that these green cartridge bootleg ones are from Thailand or Taiwan. I'm not sure exactly where, but I was told by some of the people I talked to, you know, other gamers and collectors as well, that this is like, you know, for bootlegs, these are like, you know, collectibles in a sense of it. But yeah, but it says here like Capatin America Ameritoa Game Boy Color 2003. Yeah, I can't remember which game, you know, I can't remember which game this one was exactly, but let's just say that the labels don't match what the game is. That most of the games are copies from like other Game Boy games. So there's that one here, and then we have the Harvest Moon type game. I say type, but it's definitely a Harvest Moon game, but I don't know which one from the series and such. And actually, I found a lot of copies of these things here, so like I said, it's obvious to tell which of these are bootleg and which ones are official, because most of the time when it comes to Game Boy and Game Boy Color, they have like official, they have like, you know, product designs that are recognizable, that you would know, and ways to tell, like in the circuit board, you know, which parts are legit and everything. So it'd be rather interesting to try to find out which of these, you know, besides the ones that are bootleg, which one there might be actual real Game Boy or Game Boy Color games. And take a look like this one, for example, right here. Yeah, you can tell that, you know, and actually I recognize the picture on this one. These are characters from the anime series Burnout Excess. And I'm trying to remember if this, because I'm trying to remember, this is the one that, the game on this one is actually from Rumble City, or from the Rumble City type games, where you play a soccer game. So, like I said, when they make these bootlegs, they always tend to try to make it look like something like, oh, play this game and you see a lot of pretty girls and such, and fast cars and such. But when you play the game and everything, it's like completely and obviously different. And let me show you like a very good example of that. Like, yeah, what's wrong with this picture right here? It says the Blues Brothers, which playing the game is actually a game from the Blues Brothers series franchise, but yet you have the Men in Black, the original Men in Black in the background, with only just slightly increased the blue color. Yeah, which of these things does not belong here? But anyway, the last one also show is this one here as well. Like, Kung Fu Master, which is actually an actual Kung Fu game, which I think is a fighting one, I think. But like I said, that I already recorded all of these beforehand, and it was a lot of work because I'm gonna say I have like over 100 of these things, and some of them, you know, I have the ones that most of them work, but then a good chunk of it that doesn't work. So the memories of each of these games is like, you know, far-fetched, but these are the ones that, you know, definitely worked out, and you'll definitely see in the video series. Now, give me a sec. For the ones that don't work that I wanted to showcase right here. Okay. Now, one thing I also want to show out is I tried this on the retro device, but it doesn't work. But here, you have basically the bootleg version of a Famicom game. From my understanding, and from what I'm told, that in China, they had a console which is like a bootleg version of the Famicom or the Japanese Nintendo system, and essentially this is what you would find with the consoles. That's like 52 games in one cartridge, and chances are I recognize like this is from Mario, and this one I'm not, is that, I think that's like from the Caveman game. I can't remember the name at the moment, but you have Tetris, you have a Kung Fu game, and whatever that is. But I tried to do this to showcase it, but the retro device doesn't read these, and I'm trying to put these things back in. It's like, come on. But if I ever do find a working device I can play these things, I will definitely do that and upload it on to my channel. So just want to showcase that. And like I mentioned before, there was some Sega Genesis games that I did find on some of the flea markets and such that work, and unfortunately for this one, this is one of the ones that did not work. Now again, even though it does say Sega on it, made in Japan and all that stuff, I'm still skeptical about if this is like the authentic Sega Genesis game, or this is just a knockoff of a bootleg version of it. But unfortunately, this one didn't work. No matter how many times I tried to clean the connectors and such, it just didn't work. Well, by cleaning using a Q-tip and a little bit of Windex cleaner to try that, but still didn't work. And here's like an example of these like multi-games in one cartridge here. That we have a Game Boy Color, and I see Pokemon Yellow, Red, Blue, and Green. I see Wario Land, a Mario game. Ow. Take a look at the, if I can see, like right here. That's like the image from the Mario 64 game. I highly doubt you can get a Mario 64 game to work well on a Game Boy Color cartridge. But unfortunately, same problem that I couldn't get it to work on the Retro Freak. So, let's see, what else do I want to have? Here we go. Now this one, it's like actually rather an interesting container, and that's the Super Mario Bros. 4 game, which is the Super Mario World, I believe. Now, I would believe that, you know, it could be on the Game Boy Advance game, but I'm not sure if there was actually one officially released yet, to my knowledge. I can be wrong, of course, but unfortunately, same thing, couldn't get it to work on the Retro Freak. So let's do that. Okay. Next one I want to show is, like here we have the Pokemon Green version that was never released in the US, that we only got the blue and red. And like I said, that I'm 100% sure that this is like the bootleg version of it, but like I said, I will have to do like more research into finding out which is bootlegs and which ones are you know, authentic. But I believe it's also based on, you know, the labels, because it's easy to tell. You know, one thing comes to mind though, it's like it has to have the Nintendo seal on it, and since it's obvious that these do not have the Nintendo's official seals on them, then you know, they're more or less bootleg. But yeah, still rather interesting though. Let's see. Here's another example of something. Here we have something that's based off of the Mega Man X series. Yeah, and supposed to be like X2. Now, I believe there are some Mega Man X games that were ported to the Game Boy and such, but to my knowledge, I mean, to my memory, I can't really pull up any other time because I never played it. I only played the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation version and all that stuff. But unfortunately for this one, it doesn't work on the, can't be read on the retro device. So let me fix that up real quick. There we go. What's next? Same thing like with this one here. Another Mega Man X game, which I think it might be the, yeah, look at that. It's like number 1 and number 2. But unfortunately, both of these do not work very well. Like I said, I might have to try to do like a deeper cleaning of sorts to try to see if that would work. But if not, then just like an interesting piece to have that you won't find these, elsewhere. Here we have Warrior Land 2 on the quote-unquote Game Boy Color, but like I said, it may have the copyright of 1998 Nintendo. It doesn't have the seal, and I'm pretty sure like there are other ways to tell, but it involves opening up the case to look at the circuit board and such, but I don't have the technical knowledge to do so, so I don't trust myself with that. The last thing I want to show is, it's like, what the heck is this? It says here this is a syntax, but yet we have a Pokemon, 2 Pokemon characters, Bug, a lion, Sun Wukong, or the Monkey King, and a green owl, and a green parrot. Yeah, I have no idea what to say about this. Unfortunately, it doesn't read on the Retro Freak. It would have been interesting to see, but I would need something that belongs to whatever the syntax is in order to make that work. But again, I really have no idea. But anyway, that's why I made this series on my YouTube channel, just to showcase these, not only the gameplay, to show what these games are and such, but also just to show, like, especially for, not only for like knowledge that these exist and such, and that in a sense though, it's like there's like their own rarity in a sense, because bootlegs, they only make like limited quantities of these things because they don't want to, be traced back, obviously, but also to spread knowledge, to say like, oh, if I buy a bootleg of something, then, it's just as good. Chances are they're not as good as the original one, which is always a good idea to support the official releases and everything, so. But anyway, this is just an introduction to the series, so hopefully you get a kick out of it and such, and see the progress of me trying to get these to work and such. And hope you guys enjoy it. So, as usual, thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a comment below, subscribe for more videos for updates, share this on your Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, all other social medias of any kind. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell and to turn on the notification bell and such to stay up to date on my channel. And as always, I have a Patreon link down below if you want to contribute in any shape or form. Not mandatory and all that, just that, if you want to do that or not. But in any case, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.